United States. I was working for their project, but they didn't care about me. I applied for this IV. I went to the United States of America embassy. I went there. They said you need to have an HR later. Unfortunately, that I don't have it. I needed to have a supervisor. Unfortunately, that I didn't have the supervisor on that time because the project fund was from United States, but it was for Afghan militaries. So I got attacked because I was working in a project for United States. So the second thing goes to Canada. I have lots of relatives in Canada. My sister, my brother, my uncles, my aunts. Like most of my family lives in Canada.
15 families in Canada.
So we didn't, in these 16 years after we left Pakistan to Afghanistan. So I have been to lots of countries. I've been to Emirates. I've been to Bahrain. I've been to Qatar. I've been to India. I've been to Nepal. I've been to Pakistan. I was working, I was learning, I was educating. So if I was going somewhere, so don't you think that I was going in these 16 years before I got married, before this attack happened on me? So definitely I would say I want to go to Europe or to Canada. Several times I've been requested, the time that it was possible. I said no, because I had a good life. I had a good life in Afghanistan. I had a car, I had a family, a happy family, I had enough income. So there was no need for me that I should have to accept to go to Europe or to Canada, I mean American countries. I didn't say it because I didn't need it to go. Because, okay, so now when I need it, so if you compare from 2000 to 2016, if you just research about me, you're open, find out my families. My family, all of them are Europe, Germany, Switzerland, and Canada. I didn't choose anyone in the 16 years because no any problem at all. So in this last, when the government changed from Hamid Karzai to Ashraf Ghani, security problems increased a lot. Economic problems just 3 times more much due to Hamid Karzai and Ashraf Ghani period. And yesterday, you know that there was a very big bomb blast in Afghanistan, in the capital, close to the city of Kabul. The students, military students who were graduated already, they were coming to join their families or to go to the military, I mean to ministry. They got attacked on the way. 57 were them were killed and 100 and something like injured. So we are not living in a safe country. Please. Syria is a country, I'm not gonna be a nationalism first of all. They have fight since 2012 or 2013. Something like 5 or 4 years. They have fight. So what about my country? How long we have fight? Do you know this? More than 40 years. I born as a refugee in Pakistan. I came back to Afghanistan, and right now I'm back a refugee. Why? I'm not a human. I don't deserve to live. My country is not a country. Why? So the priority must go to my country. We have 40 years war every day. I will just challenge whole world. Find one day in Afghanistan that there is no any blood lost. I mean there is no one to die. Find one day. Every day in Afghanistan you have a dead body. In bomb blast, Taliban kidnapped, in so I don't want to say that the traffic situations, or this is not something. Every day you will find blast, Talib killed, military killed, civilian killed. No,
accidents, but
not accidents.
conflict.
Yes, the security killing people.